We have an order, and it looks like the court agrees with the Wayfarer parties on the fact that this was an untimely subpoena, and therefore the motion to compel is denied. This is regarding the case documents that were around the Stephanie Jones Leaks website and any involvement there. I did a video on the hearing where we talked about the different arguments that we heard, and to me, kind of one of the best ones was the Taylor Swift one. And yeah, that was really in the Lively case, but it was still this court that made that distinction and came to the conclusion that even though Taylor was amenable to a deposition after the close of fact discovery, the court said no. And so, to me, that was a good argument by Fritz. It did seem like even from the get-go, the judge was like, why are you dealing with this now? That timeliness was his biggest question. And then Fritz, that was the first thing he mentioned. Well, the subpoena is very untimely. Fritz, for the Wayfarer parties, also talked about how the subpoena was very broad, basically stating anything that had to do with negative websites or social media would be included in this. So, yeah. The judge's main argument here is around timeliness and being like, look, there was a scheduling order and everything closed, mid-August, and then you waited until October 17th. And then they cite like the inconsistency between Case's testimony and Nathan's, and they're like, well, you should have had an idea on September 5th when you deposed Case. So why did you wait this long? And, it sounds like he's just like on a principle of fairness. Like, no. He says even if there might have been cause for the Jones parties to wait until after Case's deposition to serve the subpoena, the decision to wait an additional 6 weeks before doing so demonstrates a lack of diligence. Really calling out the Jones attorneys there. He's mainly denying this because of the lack of diligence here. He does talk about how, the idea of prejudice here, because the Jones parties were like, well, this doesn't prejudice the other side. And he's like, that doesn't completely matter. The Jones parties needed to show good cause, and the lack of diligence made them fail that. He wasn't buying their spoliation argument too. He was like, listen, if you think the Wayfarer parties have not produced documents that they should have produced, you can file a motion to compel against them. And if they did spoliate evidence, then you can ask for spoliation sanctions. But he says that the Jones parties have failed to show any discovery violations by the Wayfarer parties. At the end here, the judge does say something interesting. He says, after the close of discovery, there are certain circumstances that could lead to a trial subpoena. And he says the Jones parties have not framed the subpoena as a trial subpoena, nor have they indicated that it is for cross-examination and impeachment purposes only. This court, therefore, does not address that issue. I do think what she was trying to say was that these were for credibility and impeachment purposes, but I don't think she was saying that that was the only reason, and it does not seem like she being Kristen, Jones's attorney, framed it really as a trial subpoena. So